whenever you guys are ready, take it away. Who started?
I did one.
I've done one. What number are we?
One episode.
I've done every single time.
No, you haven't.
I've done the big opening every single time.
Are we number 4?
This is 4.
This is 4, isn't it?
This is 4. We did 2 on our own, and we did 1 with Tara.
Yeah, so this is 4.
Well, there's. Why don't you do it?
Yeah.
That's not my role.
Yeah, you do this one. You do this one.
You pick.
I'm the technical.
You're the big guy.
No, I'm the technical guy. This is not my role. I'm leaving it to you guys.
Welcome to episode 4 of Board Talk with your fabulous CFO team, and we particularly want to welcome our special guest, Vix, and we are delighted to have you here with us today. And I know how much she's looking forward to being here.
Yes.
So we can open you with something simple. What got you into CrossFit?
It's a bit of a long story, to be fair. So, COVID hit, I was still working in the police, and they had a thing called the Resilience Games. They posted a WOD every week, you videoed yourself, and you did it, and then you got scored, and the whole net could do it. And it was something that I'd never really done before. I'd done weights and stuff like that, but never done anything sort of CrossFitting.
Was that a mini CrossFit Games then?
Yeah, and so I did it, videoed myself. There was a few people at work, like Chris and Dave. We all did it, posted our scores, and long story short, I won. So I thought, oh, I might be alright.
There you go.
Without doing CrossFit,
How many people took part?
That's talent. That is talent.
And that's how the first time I met. How many people took part?
There was quite a few. I don't know the
amazing.
exact numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did alright. And then, because I'm really competitive, I don't know if you know that.
No, actually, no.
Competitive.
You hide it well.
Yeah. And then with Chris and Dave got us into CrossFit, and also Chris at work, and I started doing more sort of workouts with them with bars involved in it. And then got to the point where I was like, right, I'm starting to enjoy this. And then doing scrolling on Facebook, and CrossFit Wilkinson came up, and I was like, I might have a go at that. So, as a little look, came in, booked my sort of taster interview with you, and I remember that, and I was like, yeah, so I've done this, I've done a bit of that, did high rocks, I know that's a dirty word.
We're going to say that.
But did a bit of that, and then I just found it was just a really weird environment, but one that was really nice, because going to normal commercial gyms, no one looks at you, no one says anything, and I did like all the body attack and body pump and all that. You had to sit in your space, and if you're in someone else's bit, then they get the ump, and there was no community.
Yeah.
And when I walked in, even before I'd seen you, people were saying hello, and I was like, So, yeah, had a chat, what my goals were. I just wanted to get stronger. I like the physique of women in CrossFit. I find them just amazing, what they can do, what they can lift and all that. And I like the idea of being strong and fit, and being menopausal as well, knowing that that's something you've got to look at for your bone strength as well, bone density. So I had a little chat with you, and then I met Magda.
And that was it. She was sold.
Proper girl crush. Look at her legs. Dude. I was like, she's strong, and she's just, so you just look, and that's the kind of person I want to be. And she was really nice, kind, but I remember she gave me a WOD, and I was like, well, I've got to like turn this on a bit. And I remember it was an assault bike and a bit of cleans and a bit of burpees. And I left, and I felt so ill. My legs were like chilling. And I'm like, if this is what it's going to be like, I'm going to get so fit. Like, I don't know if I can do this every
I love it. I mean, I did mention to a few people that Vix, yeah, I've done the one-to-one fight, and normally I've got kind of a script. We do run off the script. So we assume people are very new to it, so we want to gently introduce them to CrossFit. But with Vix, I just saw her, look, she's getting the acid bike,
that's enough. That quickly went to 9. Then I was maxing out, then it went to 12, and now it's filling, and it's changed my body shape. It's changed the way I do stuff at the gym. We've got another group of people that are outside the job, which is nice because my job is very much male orientated, and it's nice to have a bit of a female company doing stuff and working towards the same goals, but you've all got different things. And the thing with me, I think with CrossFit, is you get good at something and then you're very quickly humbled by something else. There's always something that you've got to work at, and that keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely. I have the next question. I think you did say your lifestyle changed, and so sometimes we do CrossFit and physically we change, our fitness is improving, but at the same time we hit those little bad habits that were there before, not really realizing. So because you work so hard here and you have certain image you want to have, and you work towards that goal, at the same time when you go home you then don't necessarily look for things to indulge yourself, because then you know it's going to take away that work that you put in before. So I just want you to mention, I know you said something about reducing your alcohol intake and how that affects, how that changes your lifestyle.
Well, a lot of it was sort of reason I was like training really hard here and I'm putting in the effort, and I just thought I am seeing results, but there's also the other side, you can't out-train a bad diet, and a lot of the stuff I would do, and my big thing was alcohol. So when I finished a day, I kept my house in check, the kids still alive, and all look.
You have a bunch of
and
unless your husband you count as a child. Some women do. Not that I do. But some women do. Like, you've got 5 children. She said, no, 6. I'm like, how? No, my husband. Okay.
So it's just so by doing, so I've trained, I've done this, I've worked and all that, and then my go-to at the end of the evening was to have a vodka and coke, and that was every night, probably every other night, and especially at weekends, and probably doing within the region of a bottle to a bottle and a half a week, and but still getting up, still functioning, still doing everything that I needed to do. But I used that as that was my gift to myself, my time. Whereas recently, a few things said I'm training really hard, and I'm also sabotaging myself as well. So I'm not saying I don't drink, because I do, but nowhere near what I did before. And a lot of it is now one of my best friends has got cancer, and so is one of my family members. And you just look and you just think, you haven't got that great odds. And I don't mean this to bring down, but you can give yourself better odds by cleaning up certain things, like eating more whole foods, watching what you eat and not drinking as much. And so that was probably that epiphany, if you like, probably was about 2.5 months ago. And even from that, just cutting out those things and looking at and being a bit more conscious about what I'm eating, preparing my food before I have it, rather than being hungry and finding stuff and then shoving it in my mouth. It's just be a bit more deliberate in how I do that, and it's worked, and I've seen a big change in not just my weight but how I look. I'm not really bothered about how much I weigh. I'm worried about how much I can lift. but and also what you look at in the mirror. So I can see an improvement there. And as much as someone else will say to me, oh, you've done this, you've lost weight, unless I see it, it doesn't really count. And anyone can say, oh, you're this, you're that, and you're like, okay, thanks. But it's not really until you believe it or see it yourself.
Absolutely.
I want to ask a little bit about the job. So I know you've been doing it a long time, and
I think Alex also needs to speak.
No, it's fine. I can do it in post. I work my magic in post. Don't worry about it. I want to ask a little bit about the job. So you've done it for a long time. What would you say, or what have you sort of taken from it that sort of helped you throughout your life? But also, how have you got through those hard parts? Because I know there's definitely hard parts with the job.
I mean, Danny would be able to sort of like, in 10 times over. But like, I've been in the police for 27 years. I chose a route.
It's longer than I've been alive.
I won't say so.
Yes, I'm old.
That is what we feel like.
Cut it out.
So, and in that time, I sort of chose the more physical side of the policing, sort of riot training, public order training, and stuff like that. And you see, I've seen a lot. I've had also experienced a lot working in a male-dominated environment, as Danny will probably know. And that builds you, as I said, like resilience and how to deal with certain things. But it does come at a cost.
Yeah.
And that cost is finding somewhere where you can become and switch off, which is this place, which is training in general. It used to be running and now it's here, and it's just to let things go, because genuinely, like, you chase trauma, that's what you do, and you always meet people when they're at their worst. And sometimes after a while that can start to have a negative effect on you. And you do get dark humour, and you do have certain things where, when I'm not in a police environment or that sort of environment, and I'll make a joke and everyone will look at me like, are you okay? That's a bit dark. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. But that was sort of like, so it is sort of a way to, you've got to find a release. But mine is, there's more good than there are bad. And you've got to, you know, be around people that one, you can trust, especially in my job, and also that you want to be around.
Yeah.
And so I haven't, you know, had too many major dramas in the job. I've had a few that have sort of stuck with you, but yeah, it's a job where it's a career and you experience loads of stuff when you're doing it. But then also that one thank you that comes out, it makes the last month of hell worth it. And so that's the reason why sort of you keep doing it, I think.
Amazing, yeah.
Nice.
How you go for your question?
I'll go for a more fun one. I'll try and part this up. I didn't say it. What would be your favourite memory of CrossFit since you started? If you could pick one. I've got one of you, but I'll tell you after. I'll let you go first.
I think there's two. Can I say something?
Yeah, of course you can.
Right. So the first one was, I've literally been here a month, and then Mag was like, do you want to do the Kent Classics? Yeah. What is that? What is that? And then I turned up and I went, well, I can't do that, you're doing that. And I'll just lift and do some thrusters and stuff like that. But just the whole thing was totally new to me, like the competition stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I could totally get into this. This is a bit of me. And just watching people and how they do stuff, cheering each other on. And there's none of that kind of negative, I'm not going to cheer on because she can beat me. There's none of that.
No, yeah.
And that's one. And my other one was a low then a high. So I'm on the CrossFit Open on the third WOD, and I didn't get in the time for my first try. Magda was very strict on me. And I just remember going trying and just trying to do handstand walks, and she was like, no. No. I'm like, major side, I'm dying.
I really feel it's been kind of the whole scenario is twisted. It's twisted.
I don't think so.
No, it's
I would like to see the recording on
No,
that.
you have to see the recording. Vic's face when you are looking at her, no, because I'm standing there watching her, and I'm looking at she's just looking, and I thought, if somebody could turn someone stone, why not? You would get a statue. There were no words necessary, it was just like, I was like, oh, that's one of my absolute favourites.
But then I come back and did it again a couple of days later, and then sort of like in my head realised bits that I needed to work at. and got through it in the time that I needed to, and I was just proper chuffing myself.
That was a great win. That was a great win.
So that was like one of my biggest highs. I was like, after the others were sort of like, but that one I was like, I've actually done alright here. So yeah, that one was one of my highs. And basically just doing 5:30 in the mornings with the crazy people that get up that time in the morning as well.
Good. So I think my funniest memory of you was at Talisman when everyone else was doing the workout and then you were just dancing with your board when Matt was doing toast to
So
it was so good.
Another, let's do this comp. Okay, turn up there, like, I can't do that, can't do toast to bar. And Matt's like, what do you mean you can't do toast to bar?
In the way Matt does as well.
I can't do toast to bar. When in the workout they said 3 out of the 4 have to do it. And then when we turned up it was 4 out of the 4.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So I was like, well, Matt, you've just got to do the toast to bar. And I felt like, because I was standing there, I felt like maybe I should do something. And then so I started to dance around.
Started cheerleading.
and cheer Matt on whilst he was doing like 20 straight toast to bar. And so
everyone else was loving it.
yeah, I enjoyed that workout. I didn't sweat very much. I
wish Matt could comment this.
I'm sure he will.
But you'd have to have a beeper.
But every word that comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I think the next question I kind of want to ask then is, what has been? I'm terrible today.
I can see there's not much sound.
Yeah, I know. So, what would you say has been your biggest win in terms of? It can be a workout, it can be a movement, it can be something big, something small.
Beating Matt.
That was quick.
I knew that was coming.
That was quick.
No, I mean, Matt is a lot, and I hate myself for saying this, but he's like the nicest guy. There's not a bad bone in his body. He will help anyone out, but when there are certain workouts where we're about the same, or maybe I've got the edge. If it's something to do with snatches, sort of dumbbell snatches, I'm right at that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right, and then every now and again there'll be that workout, and I'll be like, yeah. And then I might remind him the day.
The week after.
That sort of thing, yeah. So anything that basically allows me to beat Matt is a win.
I love that.
And I suppose, I think, come from the background you come from, I come from, there is that added thing, isn't there, of actually beating a bloke doing it.
Yeah.
So there is, because you spend so long feeling like you're in competition, and because of the world you're in, people always look at you and think, oh, a woman doing that.
Yeah.
And you're then set up against blokes, and you feel quite often you have to do twice as much to be looked at half as well as a bloke. Yeah. So when you do have those moments, it is quite pleasurable, isn't it? And I think we shouldn't take the gift of that, but it is very much I get that.
I think part of doing the job that I did, the reason and part of being accepted in the job that I did was because of my fitness. It was easier for me than someone that wasn't as fit, because it was like, and they just ever say, she's all right for a bird, which basically means, she can do her job.
Yeah.
And it just takes that, like, all right, you're running, I'll run. And then it's just like, you can tie a flip, I might have a bit of practice of that, but I will do it. And then it's just that acceptance that, okay, will they stand next to me when it's all kicking off and be happy that I'm standing there? And if that's not the case, then why not? And then I'll make sure that I am that person. Yeah. That sort of thing, yeah. But
Totally get that. So, next goals, what is the thing at the moment that is frustrating you the most, your hardest working, humbling you the most, apart from gymnastics?
Gymnastics. The whole thing, right. Anything that involves skill, I'm out. Anything that just involves a very small movement up and down, I'm in. So yeah, I have been, Magda, I've been 4 weeks in a row. Alright?
Come on.
So anything upside down, anything from the bar, that sort of thing. I'm getting there, but it can be frustrating. And I think the biggest thing for me is like, you have to be consistent and do the ones that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And see them and go, like, you could easily go, nah.
Sorry.
And then you could easily go, no, I'm not doing that. Or just turn up, get it done, and do your best and see where you're at.
Yeah.
And eventually, something will click.
Yeah.
And then you get somewhere, but it takes a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I think my next question then is going to be, before I change the battery in the camera, is what sort of impact has CrossFit had on your life? You might have answered it a little bit before, but what would you say, like if you've seen a change or not a change, what sort of impact would you say?
It's massive for me coming here. This is like my happy place. I said that before. This is like, I come here and I can do what I need to do in that hour, and it's for me. I'm constantly feeling like, I think most mums do, feeling guilty about like leaving, doing something for yourself, or. But then what I've realised is like Mabel came to the two Kent Classics, and they are a mirror of you. And if she's like, oh mum, you're going to do CrossFit, I want to do CrossFit. Oh mum, can I do this? Yeah, you can. But you've got to try, and it's not just a given, you've got to work hard at something, and she sees that in me. And then, so that's nice. And then my mum turned up, and she was like, you're always training too much, you're not there. And then she watched, and I saw her face on one of the workouts, she was like, what's she doing? She was like, Magda, she's nearly hit her head on that. But she was like, oh, come again, I quite like it. Yeah, but it's that sort of thing that it just motivates me, and this is somewhere where in 3 years' time the police is not going to be there, and I'm happy about that. That I'm kind of done in 3 years' time, and then it's like, right, what else can I do? And this is a community that I want to still be involved in, maybe do sort of like part training or do something involved in coaching, that sort of thing, just to look further in the future and see what is it that I can offer. And so that's really what this place is. And it doesn't matter, like everyone's different, everyone's got good skills, bad skills or whatever, and they can't do as much, and then you see people and they come in, they're getting stronger, and you can work out with someone that can't do a press-up, but you're still doing the same mod, it's just slightly different. And so it's inclusive and it's for everyone.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so it's more going to be like admin related. How do you manage to fit training around everything?
Very good question.
It's a priority rather than a sort of add-on. If I don't train, I'm miserable. If I'm miserable, nothing gets done. And then the whole thing is like a constant. So I'll do the 5:30 class with all the other sort of weirdos.
And was that always the plan when you started, or was it?
No, because normally before that I would join in the evening, and then I thought, right, maybe I just need to get this done, and then I've got a dog, then I can take the kid to the school, and then I can go, but then it's done and it's ticked, and then everything after that is kind of like, it just falls into place.
Right, yeah.
But also like, when you start going regular to the same sort of time, you get to know certain people, and then you feel like you're missing out if you don't go. Well, that's how I feel. And then it's just like a nice vibe. You've got like people of all different ages, like Siska, Maddie, like Rio, and all like the girls and that. And they're like, they could be, some of them could be my daughters, you know. But yet we've all got the same vibe. We've all got a sort of where we want to be, and we're all different, but we're still very much sort of like get on with each other and encourage each other. So for me, making it a priority means that other stuff can get done. My mental health is better because I've trained. I now feel strong. I'm more productive.
It's almost like you looked after yourself first part of the day, and then now you can.
Because I saw everyone else.
Because a lot of what you do is obviously service focused. So you're always helping people and doing that first. So almost like take care of yourself first, and then you can actually help.
But also my job's physical, and I need to be fit to do it. And if I'm not fit, then I could get hurt, and if I do get hurt, then who's going to help me if they're not fit? So it's like, I owe it to myself because I want to go home every day. I want to go home to my family and the people that matter to me. So I have to be physically fit to do my role, and that is a priority. But I still feel guilty about it. That's why at 5:30 everyone's still asleep.
Yeah.
So by the time I get back, they're still asleep. I've done something for me that hasn't impacted on anyone, and that's a tick for me.
Amazing. What do you want to say to community?
Get involved.
I don't know, to our community. So just to our CFO people.
Just get involved and just turn up. Consistency. Do stuff that you don't want to do, and just put yourself out there. There's a few people that have said, "Oh, I'm not going to do a competition until I get good at this and that." Well, clearly that wasn't what I did. I just turned up, see what happens, and then sort of other people kind of picked up the slack. But it made me more motivated. When you see other people doing stuff and you think, well, there's no reason why I can't do that, but I've got to, it's not given, you have to earn it. And it is just start slow, look after yourself. I need to work on my mobility massively, but there are things that you're going to be better at than others. Just get involved and just do, like, everyone's different, everyone's got a different story, but you've got one thing in common.
Exactly.
And that's what's good about this place.
Nice.
By the end of 2025, I will be able to.
Oh, nice.
Do a muscle up.
Big thing. Go strong.
We're going to come back to this.
It's not 6 months, come on.
Christmas party is going to come round and we're going to replay this.
You're going to do a dance though.
We'll see.
We need to actually plan that dance.
What dance?
Christmas party.
We could do
We need to start. She was so
no one else was doing.
It was a last minute decision.
It was very. We could start the Christmas party here with a demonstration of muscle ups by Vix.
We'll bring a bar.
By Mags with small people. You know, I mean, it's all coming together quite well.
Have a booth.
Yeah.
That thing, I remember
No, that's a great call.
No, Christmas party will come. So on that note, everyone just make sure your December is open.
the whole month.
Yeah, because we don't know which day yet.
We need to plan it in advance so people can get it in their diaries.
That's right.
Let them know in July.
Yeah, so that's
While they're on holiday, plan it.
Just to go heads up, Christmas party on this day, don't do anything.
Yeah, we want everyone at Christmas party because that's the only time people from 5:30 to the evening crew can meet each other.
Yeah.
And
No, if you're on the summer barbecue.
Yes.
oh yes,
Just on that.
barbecue, is coming, and I think that was really
And the
good.
rig.
Oh,
And the
this
rigs.
The rig is here. It's just got to be put together, which is a lot harder than it looks actually. I didn't think it would be that hard, but
I
it
was
is.
doing flat pack French. I appreciate that was going to be a hard.
Oh, mate.
IKEA has nothing on the rig.
No.
Honestly, I'm calling the professionals. There's some things that are just like, I'm not going to make a mistake.
No, you don't want that to go wrong.
No,
Someone's swinging on the bar.
Someone's going to the whole
That's high risk.
She's wobbling.
Don't need that. We don't need that. No, but that was awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
doing
you
this.
for asking me. I appreciate it.
No, it was awesome. We've got to get you back, man. At Christmas when you've got the muscle up. That's it.
First one back of the new year.
She just said chest bar.
Say something you can already do.
You know, everyone's going to hold you accountable. Watch this and that. Right, so you do your muscle ups. Every session. You do your muscle ups. But awesome.
Any compete class now, there's muscle ups, I'm going to be watching you. Come on, mates.
No, fantastic. Well,
Thank you.
that is it. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vix.
What a mix.
Done.